Hello ladies and gents, PepperBelly here. It's been a while since I posted some ArmA 3 gameplay to my channel, and this is actually a compilation of a match I had last night. Hours and hours long of gameplay. It's essentially me playing Capture the Island, which is a cooperative based game mode in which all players that join the server are thrown into a central area, known as the AO, I suppose, basically the forward operating base that everybody would spawn at. And then from there on, you'd have dedicated pilots, dedicated infantrymen, and you'd all, like as you can see, you'd fly out to complete various objectives that would randomly appear all over the map. You go and complete them, go and try to capture as many points on the island as you can, and just, it's an ongoing, persistent world that never really ceases to stop, which is fun and really good, but it's complex to get into initially. For any of the newer players to ArmA, they'd be like incredibly lost in this, and that's basically what I'm trying to talk about today. That is going to be the central topic of what I want to cover in this video. Where has the simplicity gone? Now, when I played the alpha when it first released, I was immediately impressed with the overall look and gameplay mechanics of the game. It was a huge improvement over ArmA 2, but it still lacks in features even to this day in simplistic things. Now, during the alpha and during the beta, there's a lot of servers out there, and it was a lot easier to find games that were very basic and very easy to get into. Now, one of the ones I absolutely loved was Blitzkrieg, which is basically, if you guys are familiar with Advanced and Secure, that's basically what the game objective is, the game type. And unfortunately, it's really hard to find those games now. I can't find a single Blitzkrieg server when I search for it. I can't find any Advanced and Secure game types. The game is oversaturated now with Wasteland, King of the Hill, and Capture the Island, which I'm currently playing right now in this video. So the simplicity is pretty much gone. Like everything that used to exist back in the alpha, just being able to go online, join a match, not have to worry about anything else other than spawning as a certain class of soldier. So either a rifleman, a gunner, medic, specialist, like an engineer specialist, anything like that, sniper, whatever. Now it's like, especially the King of the Hill servers, I don't even know what kind of game mode they technically are. Every time you join, it's just King of the Hill. And it's like, you're supposed to go and literally take over. It's King of the Hill. That's literally what it is. Except when you spawn at a base that's really far off, and you have to purchase things. Like, there'll be a whole bunch of random, like, kiosk-style things set up at your spawn, and you have to go there and grab equipment and weapons, but since you're a low level, because you never played in the server, and the server has a progressive level system that when you're playing it, you gain XP, you get money, and then, since you get the money, you can buy things with it, and do stuff. Like, that to me is fucking retarded. I don't want to join a server and have to be like, alright, I gotta buy this weapon after I kill 35 people, but everyone who's playing the game already has, like, fucking little birds and shit, and you're sitting there like, alright, I got a fucking stock assault rifle with no attachments on it, just the bare bones kit that you start off with, and you have to progress yourself to be able to actually really compete against these guys, and it's just, like, that to me is just, it's bullshit. The thing I like about ArmA, though, is that it's optional. No one's forcing you to play it, but right now, that's kind of what's happening, because nobody has these simple servers that are available for people just to jump in and play. Now, ArmA does have a learning curve, and it's more geared towards people who like to have a more hardcore gaming experience, but it still is a great game for those that just want to go in and experience a great military simulated type combat environment that anyone wants to experience. Like, you shouldn't have to make it super complex where all game modes are just ridiculously hard to get into, or you're playing in role-playing servers where people create private lobbies that only their clan mates can play, and they have like held sessions at certain times and stuff, and they play very realistically, where they have, like, you know, actual comm systems, like the way they would go over the radio and chat, they would actually talk like you would in real life and do proper radio procedures. Like, it's cool when people do that, but getting into those servers, it's time consuming. It's like, it requires effort. And do people really want to put effort into playing a simple game? Now, again, I said ArmA 3 isn't really simple. It's geared more towards the hardcore base, but you do need to have that simplicity there. You do need to be able to have it so that any player who purchases this game can go online, find a team deathmatch server, find any type of server really easy, and be able to play it, just jump right in and get the good ArmA 3 experience. But unfortunately, it's just not there. I mean, it's like a little bit too difficult for average, normal players to just start up and play this and know what the hell they're doing. You know, they'll jump into a match, and then people will be yelling at them, or, you know, the more experienced players will just be telling them to, like, get out of the server, go play, like, Call of Duty because some people are arrogant like that. Some people are just complete ignorant assholes online. And, you know, a lot of the ArmA community is a bunch of snarky assholes. I mean, it's true. And, like, a lot of them are, you know, the chauvinistic fucking just dicks that think because they play a very complex, and even though it's not that complex, but they play a complex game like this, they think they're kind of better than everybody else, but that's just not the case. So, how do you make this happen? How do you simplify a game like this? And that's just the thing. Everyone will come from every corner of the world and voice their opinion on what they think will make this game simplified for the average gamer. But the thing is, nobody really knows what is actually going to make this game thrive for the average consumer. It was the top sold game on Steam for a very long time. It still is one of the most played games on Steam. But if you take a look at the active player base right now, the vast majority of them are hardcore players that are into this game for the role-playing experience, not for the simplistic go into a game, have a good mission with a bunch of friends, and get out. And that's another thing this game has that's a problem. Hosting servers. You want to create a private match for you and your friends to play a co-op mission? That is a fucking nightmare to do for some reason, for whatever, I don't even know the fucking reason. If you're gonna have a game that's dedicated and exclusive to Steam, on PC, the least you can do is simplify the way players can interact with one another and play matches. Because one thing I absolutely hate, I got my friends, I convinced a few of my friends to personally buy this game so we can play some cooperative gameplay online and capture some great footage I can actually upload to my YouTube channel. Problem is, I can't do that because unfortunately they're unable to join my server. That, like, no one can connect to anybody. It's fucking stupid. It's like the process of having to port forward things on your router just so people can play, and it doesn't even work. I've tried it. I've opened ports up on my router. I've had them open ports up on their router. We still can't connect. The issues are just endless with this, like, with that. You can't play together. So where is that? Where's the fun in that? Like, really, where is the fun in that? Not being able to play with your friends, which is the whole point why I love ArmA, because you can play cooperative missions that are absolutely phenomenal, but you can't really do it, because it's complicated, and it's not easy. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. The simplicity of even hosting your own private match for your friends to play is overly complicated. Why? Every other game I know of, you host a private game, you invite your friend, they're able to join. But not in ArmA. ArmA, you host a game, you have to open up the ports on your router, you have to do all these little technical details to actually allow people to actually join your game. And even then, they won't always work. So, they need to do some adjustments, because this game is one of the best, and I actually mean this deep down. This is one of the best games I have ever played. ArmA 3 is just fucking awesome. I played the campaign so far, the first episode of it. Absolutely amazing, because all I was thinking about was my training exercise over the summer. Exactly, that was literally what we were doing. What happened in the campaign is what we were doing in the training exercise, and it felt very real. Like, it felt really fucking real. The game did a very good job of portraying what it's actually like, minus the sitting around all the time, because that's what you actually tend to do. In ArmA 3, it's pretty much like you come back from a mission, you immediately get sent out, where in real life, it's a lot more relaxed. But the briefings, the way you're structured and you're living in the fob, the way you carry out your missions, the way you do things, very realistic. The gameplay, fucking amazing. Everything about this game is really, really good. But unless they can simplify it for the average consumer, to actually be able to have a massive player base of all players, of all different skill gaps, be able to come in and play this game and enjoy it with one another without having to worry about all the extra tedious tasks that you have to do just to be able to connect to your friends privately. And even if you join a server online, they do tend to be pretty laggy, because although Bohemia Interactive will release patches, sometimes it tends to make the game worse. And even the hardcore enthusiasts, the really, really dedicated fans that love ArmA, are voicing their opinions on how this game is just turning out even worse as time goes on with each additional patch. It just makes it run worse. Worse frame rates, less compatibility with certain hardware, making it less optimized. These are all real issues that need to be addressed, because if they're not, the game can die off, and only the hardcore, really, and I mean like the most stubborn hardcore enthusiasts that love this series, will be all that remains. And for a game that is as great as this is, I would hate to see that happen. Anyway, my name is PepperBelly. Thank you guys for joining me on this video today. I'll see you next time.